How much money do you need to save up to get started? If you have between 0 and any positive number,
you're ready.
You're ready. You can do this.
Welcome back to the channel. My name's Cody. This is Christian, and today we're talking about the 3 things you need to get in order before you go out and buy real estate.
Now, the first one you got to figure out is your money. Now, I was told originally that I needed to save up for years and years and years of my career. I believe the term was scale a scalable career. So I went into sales, saved up about $100,000, and got started. Cody, how did you start?
Well, I got started with no money, and by no money, I mean $3,000. I had a little bit for 19-year-old Cody. I felt pretty good driving around my Miata. But no, seriously, I didn't have any credit card debt. I had a little bit of cash, and I wasn't losing money because I was working as a gymnastics coach. I had a net positive cash flow from my business, which was my job as a gym coach.
There we go. So, on the money front, how much money do you need to save up to get started? If you have between 0 and any positive number,
you're ready.
You're ready. You can do this. So, first step, realize your finances, know where you're at. It will be a factor later because if you don't have any money, it's going to be a factor that you solve for in the structure of your deal. You need to know where you stand. If you have $200,000, your options are different than if you have 0, but you do not need any to get started. Just acknowledge where you're at. Write that number down, know it. Second thing, number 2.
Once you've fixed your finances and you really map that out, you need to pick the market you want to buy in. It's great to want to buy real estate, but if you're shooting darts all over the board, it's hard to build relationships. And we're not at the relationship building part. Today we are just talking about the 3 things that you need to map out before you go buy the real estate. Number 2 is picking your market so that you can build those relationships and get the quality contacts you need to grow your business.
Now, as you're growing your business, I get this question a lot. I got this question yesterday. Do I look all over for wherever I find a deal? Like, can I do a deal in Tennessee and then do a deal in Ohio and then do a deal in New Mexico because that's where I found the best opportunities? Can you? Yes. Should you? Absolutely not. I believe a huge reason that Cody and I had as much success as we did, as fast as we did, is we looked around for the market we're going to be in. And it's fine to shop multiple markets, but once you land that first deal, you're going to stay in that market. So you don't want to be all over the place. Choose 1, 2, at most 3 markets that you're looking in actively, that you're really memorizing, getting good at, so that when you land that first deal, you can focus up and take all the surrounding properties. On a math basis, what does that do for us when we get 100 units in one market?
Well, if I get 100 units in a place like Moses Lake, that's going to be a heck of a lot better than having 20 units in 5 different cities. Because you start building a little bit of market share, you're going to get better contractors because you have more projects for them to work on. If you're doing a bunch of little deals in one specific area and then you do a bunch of little deals somewhere else, you're never going to be big enough for any contractor to take you seriously or any property manager, and you're just not going to have the market dominance or the market share where people actually know who you are.
And what makes the right market? There's very, very simple metrics. I've heard a ton of different rules around this. Keep it this simple. Number 1, you're providing housing for humans. Are humans moving to this place? You're going to look at population growth. Check out like worldpopulationreview.com. That's a great one because they have a nice graph right at the top. Type in your city or your county. If you see population steadily growing over time, or even better, exponentially growing, that's somewhere where people continue to move to, especially in the last few years where we've seen a lot of difficulty in building. These are fantastic opportunities to come in, get the housing, stabilize, and really push your portfolio forward at an accelerated pace. Second thing we look at is job stability. Now, Grant County is a perfect case study for this. Cody, tell us a little bit about the jobs around Grant County that give us comfort in that market.
Well, there's a couple of small organizations like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Boeing, Verizon, Sabi Data Centers into it. Small companies. And then you've got agriculture, and then there's manufacturing jobs, aerospace, techs. I mean, there's a good diversity. It's not just one field for the job industry.
Exactly. And currently they're building the biggest battery factory in the world in Moses Lake. I think that's probably going to get dwarfed here in a little bit because I saw some news that Ford's getting the largest grant ever for EV batteries. But for the time being, we will have the largest electric car battery manufacturer on planet Earth. Pretty cool.
Yeah, we get the title for just a little bit. And then the last thing that we really want to look at is, are people happy? Because when you look at Seattle, there was a time where people were moving there. However, if you look at the news, nobody's happy there. I mean, the squatters are happy there because they don't have to pay rent and they can do whatever they want.
For free.
For free. because it's paid for by the government. However, you have to look at, is the general population happy? Because if they're not, just because it's going up for now doesn't mean it will be in 5 years. And real estate is not a quick deal unless you're flipping, and now you're not investing.
California is a fantastic example. Now, you can invest in areas in California. There are fantastic areas to be. But in general, California saw its first population decline year over year in a long time. People used to be willing, because it's so beautiful and the weather is so perfect and there's so much going on there, there were still more people moving in than moving out, even with the difficulties in their political climate. That has finally shifted where people and businesses are leaving the state. These are things you need to take into account when you're choosing that market. And that's it. Basic things. Are people consistently moving there? Is there job stability? Are the people who are moving there remaining happy? Yes to all three. You found a market that'll work for you, and these are in every single state, including California and in Washington, where we're notoriously difficult to manage in. People move. City like Moses Lake, love it. Third and final point, you want to establish the players in the market that you want to buy in. There is no person on planet Earth more qualified to teach you how to do what you want to do than the person who's already done what you're trying to do in your market. That's not rocket science, but I feel like it needs to be said. If you're looking for the right mentor, the right person to move forward, you need to know who the players are. This game plays just like a board game. You need to know what the pieces are. You need to have a strategy going in, and you need to know who you're playing with and who you're playing against. You can't do this if you haven't mapped this out. Now, you can do this on a basic level on Google Maps. Click the large buildings, look up the address, look at the owner. As you advance, start showing up at those local real estate meetups, but you're not there yet. You don't need to meet people in person until you've locked in on that market, realized what your strategy is going to be, and then you start networking with the players. So outside of just Google Maps and clicking through, is there anything else that someone can do to start mapping out the players in that market?
You can reach out to a title company and ask for what's called a farm list. And what you're requesting from that title company is, I'm looking for a list of people that own this to this. So you give them the criteria, duplex to fourplex, fiveplex to tenplex, and they can provide a list in most counties. Some are very difficult, with the owner information and the property address. And then that can help you search on Google Maps for what specific locations you want to buy in.
That's just about it. I mean, that is how you get started. Understand your financial position. Again, the amount of money does not matter until you get to the strategy phase. Just understand your starting position.
Then you got to map out which market you want to be in, and lastly, who are the players in said market.
If you found this helpful, we release these videos 3 times a week. We're live every Wednesday at 3 o'clock if you have questions, 3 o'clock Pacific time. Like and follow for more. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Now, if there's one YouTube channel that you watch to learn creative finance, multifamily investing, I'm going to recommend Cody and Christian.
Multifamily strategy.